So one of the reasons I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately is I haven't bought any records this year. I've bought very few. I'm doing a couple videos today, and I haven't made any for a while. But the main reason is I just haven't really been buying any physical music at all. It's been mainly movies, but people don't really watch my movie videos, so people don't seem to care about those. I'm trying to spare your time because I appreciate it when you give it to me. Your time is valuable to me, and I know it's valuable to you. So I just haven't been buying records. I'm kind of not feeling it anymore. Records are too expensive. I don't feel like they're pressed well by and large. There are exceptions. Like I just did my Polygon window reissue video, and that's a great reissue. I love it, and I would recommend it to anybody. These reissues I'm going to be showing here, they're okay. One of which is pretty good. The other one, I don't know. But this is one of the reasons I haven't been making a lot of videos. I just haven't been buying records. I'm kind of not feeling the culture anymore. I feel like buying records has become a bourgeois thing. It's become some weird collectible fetish. And for the first time in my life, I just don't feel like I align with it. I think it's kind of stupid. I don't know. Music is available much more cheaply. That's another big reason. Money is tight for me this year. It's tight for a lot of people. So I just haven't been buying a lot of records. Some of you have wondered why I haven't done as many videos this year, and that's one of the reasons why. But for now, I am going to talk about some more reissues that I picked up recently. Here is Electronic, Raise the Pressure, and Electronic, Twisted Tenderness. And I know I've already talked about the first album. I don't remember when. I think I might have talked about it during a New Order video. Obviously, New Order. I'm not going to explain who these guys are. Okay, I'm giving you more credit than that. If you like electronic, there are two bands that you probably like, and I'm not even going to mention them. Well, I just mentioned one. But I'm not holding your hand. You guys know who's in this band. It's no surprise to anybody. So, I have the original vinyl issue of Raise the Pressure. It's on one disc, and so they expanded this one to two discs. This album's an hour long, so it needs two records. Really, it needs four sides to breathe. I'm happy to report Raise the Pressure is a good reissue. I think it said it was remastered. Yeah, remastered at Abbey Road. This is really good. Excellent remaster. Loud and punchy. The highs and the lows and the mids were just seeping right into my stylus. You could hear it through the speakers. A really excellent sounding reissue. I'm happy with this. The original issue was on one record and it just didn't sound good. It was too compressed. When you have 30 minutes of music on one side of vinyl, it's never going to sound great. It cannot sound horrible, depending on how it's pressed, but it hardly ever sounds great. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard one that sounded great because it's just too compressed. And that was the problem with this. My original issue of this, I'm happy to update it because this sounds really good. They did a nice job with it. Raise the pressure. Electronic is raising the standards by raising the pressure on this new reissue. It's really good. And what are my favorite tracks from this? I don't know. The first one, Forbidden City, I think that's one of Electronic's best songs. I've already mentioned this in a previous video somewhere. You can go dig it out. I don't know where it is, but the first Electronic album is just one of my favorite all-time albums. I think the first Electronic album is the best album from them as Electronic. I just think that first album is in a league of its own. And I do have the reissue for that too. And the reissue sounds okay. Of the three Electronic albums that have gotten reissues now, this sounds the best. So if Raise the Pressure is somehow your favorite Electronic album, I shouldn't say somehow. If it is your favorite Electronic album, you should pick this up if you want it on wax because this sounds good. Very good. I was very, very surprised, pleasantly surprised by this reissue. Excuse me. Forbidden City, great. Dark Angel. One of my favorite electronic tracks is Free Fall, and it sounds great here. I don't think this album's perfect. In fact, I love all three electronic albums, so don't get my words twisted here, but this probably is my least favorite of the three electronic albums. I still love it. I just think there are a couple of moments on here that are like, yeah, all right, that sounds like filler to me. But great album. Just my least favorite of the three. Again, not knocking this album. All three electronic albums are fantastic, and they're singles. You should have the singles with all of these albums. I think you're missing something if you just have the albums. You should go out and get the singles too. The B-sides and the remixes are always good. I thought the remixes and B-sides for this album were probably the weakest. Maybe that's why I feel like this is maybe their weakest album. I felt like the associated remixes and B-sides were just kind of meh. Nothing to write home about, but a very cool album nonetheless. And if you have the original vinyl issue of this, you should absolutely go get this. You'll be very happy with it. Both of the inner sleeves kind of have this vibe going. You get like a green inner. I'll show you the labels of one of the records. If I can peel it out. Well, that's got to be good enough for you. There you go. You get a green label, and it's green on both sides. So it's again, I was pleased. I wasn't expecting. I don't expect a lot when it comes to new reissues in general, and this was nice. I recommend it to all electronic fans. What are your favorite tracks from Raise the Pressure? Oh, won't you please tell me? Yeah, mine is probably Free Fall. Free Fall, Dark Angel, Forbidden City, which was one of the singles. Very cool album. This, mixed feelings on this one. I'm only talking about the physical pressing itself, which is substandard in my opinion. The album is awesome. Yes, indeed. My second favorite electronic album is this. I think what I liked most about this record is it surprised me. The first two electronic albums are very much electronic pop albums. Not so here. It has electronic sequencing and, stuff like that, but this is kind of more of a hard rock album. I mean, at least for Johnny Marr and Bernard Sumner, this was, and especially compared to what they did with the first two albums, this is kind of a hard rock and jam album. And that's not a slight. I really love this album. I remember when I first heard it, this album came out in 99, right? 1999? Right? Yeah, 99. When I first heard this was, I was in full-on techno house DJ mode in the late 90s. Most everything I listened to was electronic music. But then sometimes, like, I need to be surprised with something else to really kind of shake me into listening to something else. And when I heard this, I was expecting more electronic pop, and Sumner and Marr probably knew that on some level. And they surprised me here. We get a hard rockin' album here. It's really good, man. There's not a bad moment on this album, if you ask me. My second favorite electronic album for sure, Twisted Tenderness. And one of the cool things about this, regardless of how this was pressed, which I have issues with, this was never really released on vinyl, ever. This is the first time this has ever been on wax anywhere. I don't care where you are, the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, France, Germany, Holland, wherever the hell you are in the world, you don't have a copy of this on vinyl before this. It didn't come out anywhere in the world on vinyl. So it's cool to have this. Unfortunately, I don't think it's a great pressing. It's a long album, probably an hour long. They stretched it out on 2 discs, which of course you have to do that. But it sounds compressed, man. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was a digital master. I don't want to get into all the nuts and bolts of that, but it's not a great remaster, man. Like, I listened to this first, and I was like, yeah, man, they got it right. This sounds good. Loud, punchy, better than ever. I'm really, really eager to hear this. And then I dropped the needle down on this, and it was quiet. The volume was low, very static sound, no dynamism to it. What happened? I don't know. Unless you know every little detail about how these things are remastered, I don't know. But this just doesn't sound good. So if you need to have this on vinyl, well, here's your chance. Obviously, you're going to get it because it's never been on vinyl. I don't think this sounds great. So I'm happy to have it. I mean, I have every electronic 12-inch and album that was available on vinyl, every promo and weird thing they ever did. So I'm happy to have these now. I feel like my collection's complete. But beyond that, I don't know that I'll ever be listening to this again. It just doesn't sound very good. There's the back cover. What is my favorite song? God, I mean, yeah, the album's 62 minutes long, so you get a lot of music here. Haze, Vivid, Prodigal Son. Prodigal Son. Yeah, baby. That song where they were kind of experimenting with jungle music a little bit there. Flicker. There's not a bad track on here, and the singles are good too. You got a couple of like Andy Weatherall did a remix for this album. The B-sides that came out for this album were really good. Pick up the 12 inches. Like, the singles for this I know were Make It Happen, Haze. I think Vivid was a song too, right? And then Prodigal Son. So there are remixes and B-sides out there to be had. Let me show you the inner sleeve here. Nice gatefold sleeve. I mean, aesthetically, there's nothing wrong with this release. It's just the sound quality that suffers a little bit. You get a nice lush gatefold. You get printed inner sleeves. They didn't mess around with this reissue. Nice inner sleeves. Definitely pick this up. I don't want to make it sound like you shouldn't get this. And again, I think any fan of electronic and Sumner and Marr, you probably already have this. And I'd be interested to hear other people's takes if they have heard the vinyl version of this. I don't know. I don't know that I would fully recommend. If you're only getting this for the sound quality, let me put it that way, I don't know that I'd recommend it. But if you're an electronic fan, of course you have to get this. But yeah, what's your favorite song? I like hearing people's different takes on what their favorite songs are. Yeah, Prodigal Son. If I had to pick a track, Prodigal Son, and then for this one, it would be Free Fall. If I had to pick one track from these albums, Free Fall, Prodigal Son. Electronic. I was glad to see these, especially this. Because yeah, the original record just they crammed too much money. They crammed too much music onto one side for my money. But now you get two records, all spread out on nice printed inner sleeves, remastered at Abbey Road, and this. And of course, you have to go out and buy the first electronic album because duh. Why would you not have that? If I were to rank the three electronic albums, it would be the self-titled first album, my second favorite, and then my third favorite. This album, I don't know. Like, I know there are probably plenty of people out there who think Raise the Pressure is their favorite electronic album, and that's fine. I mean, that's cool. But I always felt like this, like, I felt the first electronic album was like a natural extension of New Order's Technique album, you know what I mean? In a weird way, I think that first electronic album is the greatest New Order album they never released. You know what I mean? Technique is my favorite New Order album, and then they followed that up with the electronic album. I shouldn't say they, Sumner did. Sumner and Marr. And Neil Tennant to some degree. it's got like an extension of Technique. And then I felt like this Raise the Pressure album was an extension of New Order's Republic. And Republic is far from my favorite New Order album. I think this sounds a little like Republic, a little bit. That kind of sound. I think this album's better than Republic, personally. I think Republic has one good song on it. I don't want this to turn into a New Order thing, but Republic is a mess. And it hasn't aged well. I didn't really like it then, and I still don't like it now. This is a much better album, but I felt like, yeah, this was sort of an extension of Republic. It sounds similar, but this is better. Nice reissue. Electronic fans rejoice. Thanks for watching me babble, and I'll talk to you next time. Later.